Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. We're inching closer to the T20 World Cup. Tonight is the fourth T20I between India and New Zealand. India has already sealed the series, but we will also talk about a few spots that may be up in the air. And particularly, we're talking about Sanju Samson and his three back to back failures at the top of the order. Yesterday, we also saw India under 19 defeating Zimbabwe under 19 by over 200 plus runs. It is a dominant India youth side, and we will also discuss about that with Rohit Juglan, who is joining us from Zimbabwe. With me is also Shomik Chakrabarti and Vaibhav Tripathi. I'll start with you, Rohit. Yesterday's game was incredible. The kind of dominant performances that we're seeing from this Indian youth side is incredible because we know BCCI has riches of talent, but at the same time, future looks very bright for Indian cricket.
Without a doubt, Gargi, the kind of the kind of team we have at this point of time. There are multiple star players. Uh, I mentioned this in the very early shows coming to here that this will be the first under 19 World Cup where you have already two guys already played in IPL. Ayush Matre and Vaibhav Suryavanshi. They've already played, for their state sides also. They've already scored centuries there. So if you talk about, this kind of, talent depth, you won't find it earlier from here. And means there are two other players. They still have to play IPL, but picked by RCB, Vihan Malhotra and Kanishk Chauhan. So just see the talent pool, and then you have someone like Abhigyan Kundu, who's the highest run scorer in this tournament for Team India, and then you have someone like a Henil Patel, who's already the top wicket taker for India and on number 3 as far as the top wicket takers list is concerned in this tournament, and he's not far behind. He's just 2 wickets away. Ali has the highest number of wickets with 12, and now Henil has 10. So you look at the depth of this team, and then you talk about how much talent depth is there. And I'll be surprised if in future, 5 years from now or 6 years from now, at least 5 or 6 players from this team will be a short part of the Indian team. And I'm not talking about all formats. I'm talking about that someone can be the part of Test cricket, someone can be the part of T20s, someone can be the part of both. There are players who can be the part of all three formats also. Like Shubman Gill, from the earlier point of time, Shubman Gill was there in 2018. Now, just 6 months back, he was part of all three squads, captaining two sides. So yeah, a lot of talent depth. But yeah, we have to see the first Feb game, and then we can be really assured that yes, this team can go, because now the tough competition will start from now. Till now, there was no tough game. There was one tough game in warm-up game. You lost that versus England. Apart from that, there wasn't a tough game as far as this. Yes, Bangladesh was a very good side. No doubts with that. DLS method, when the DLS method was came into the game, it was Bangladesh who was ahead at that point of time. But brilliant bowling from Vihan Malhotra, brilliantly done by Ayush Matre also. Yesterday also, the way he bowled himself and spin out Zimbabwe's tail. I think he has that cricketing, the leadership acumen with him, and yeah, means quite a good talent depth, Gargi, meeting the performance also.
Yes, and for those of us, those of the viewers who have not seen, might not have seen the match yesterday, let me just give you a look at the scorecard here. Aaron George opening 23 of 16, Vaibhav Suryavanshi 52 of 30, Ayush Matre 21 of 19, not as fast, but still runs on the scoreboard. Vedant Trivedi 15 of 18, Vian Malhotra, the one that we're talking about, 109, not out of 107 deliveries, Abhigyan Kundu 61, and then lower down the order, you've got some runs by Ambrish, 21 of 28, and Khilan Patel, 30 of 12. So this is an incredible batting unit, Vaibhav. And if we talk about the depth as well, something that the senior side, the Indian T20I side, has been working on for a very long time with this management headed by Gautam Gambhir. Depth is something that is a priority for the Indian team. And with this kind of batting lineup that we're seeing from India under 19, it is very positive sign for the future.
Definitely it is, and the template has been set, whether it is the senior team or the junior team. When the squad was announced for the World Cup, we talked about this, that they have given themselves more utility options. When they brought in a Mohammad Inan, who was not part of the Asia Cup squad, they dropped Naman Pushpak just to bring in Mohammad Inan, because Mohammad Inan can bat as well. Then RS Amrish, he got injured before the Asia Cup, then he came back to the squad just to provide more utility options, more all-round options. And you can see even a Deepesh Devendran, the final that we lost in the Asia Cup, he scored I think 38 or 39 something of 18-19 deliveries against Pakistan. So he can bat as well. So there is a plenty of depth in this batting group, and that's why they were capable. They were able to score 400 plus twice in the Asia Cup. Twice it happened, and this is the same template that you are going to see in the coming matches as well. They will go hard at the top, and then they know that they have that batting depth. They have reliable batters in the middle order, in the lower middle order, who can bat through, who can bat through the entire 50 overs. And yesterday was the first time they got the complete 50 overs of batting. Before that, there were always there were rain interruptions, red curtained matches. So I think before a big match against Pakistan, it was needed that you get a good first game. And good on Zimbabwe, good on India that they lost the toss and Zimbabwe invited them to bat first in a sunny day. It was a rare sunny day in Bulawayo yesterday, and good that they batted first, and they got means 4 wickets fell early, and then Vihan Malhotra, Abhigyan Kundu did the repair work, and then at the end Khilan Patel, RS Amrish providing the finish touch. So I think it's a really good batting unit, and all what they need is just to prevent that middle over collapses, because it has happened twice in the tournament so far that they have lost wickets in bunches. That is something that they should avoid, because that is the same thing which happened in the Asia Cup final as well. And before the Pakistan game, you want to work on it. I think the only weak link in this batting group is Vedant Trivedi, because even before the start of the tournament, I was talking about that. He merits a spot? Does he merits a spots in this playing 11? You can try a Harvansh Pangalia in his place, because Harvansh he was a better batter than Vedant Trivedi. He fared better than him in the South Africa series as well. So I think that is the only weak link that is there in the team. Apart from that, I think we are pretty much sorted, and I'm expecting Deepesh Devendran to make his comeback in the Pakistan game. I think he was rested for the couple of games, because New Zealand was not a threatening side. Same is with Zimbabwe. They didn't win a single game before the Super Six. So Deepesh Devendran is something. He's an X Factor player. I am expecting him to be back for the Pakistan game. I think apart from Vedant Trivedi's spot, things are looking good for the Indian under 19 team.
They absolutely are. Shomik, one comment about the India under 19 performance that you have seen throughout this World Cup before we go to talking about Sanju Samson.
Gargi, I mean these are run of the mill fixtures. I will not read anything into this India's performance into these matches. The tournament will start at the knockouts. India will qualify for the knockouts, and will start the tournament will start at the knockouts. These are just run of the mill fixtures, so there is no point reading too much into that. How they handle pressure, the pressure of the knockouts, that would be the key. They failed to do it at the Asia Cup, in the Asia Cup final. They failed to do it. So in the emerging cup also, we saw this. So from that point of view, for India, the tournament starts at the knockout, and it's about handling pressure. We all know they have talent, they have quality players, but it's about standing up and doing your job when you are under pressure. Can they do it? Let's see.
All right. Rohit, next, let's talk about the India versus New Zealand game a little bit tonight. We're going to see the fourth T20I between the two teams. But the question that we're asking here is, with the kind of performances that Ishan Kishan is putting in and subsequent Sanju Samson failures in the past three games, of course, he is a talent. Of course, the management wants him to do well and has given him a long rope. But at this point, do you think there could be a possibility of a swap between Sanju and Ishan?
I don't know why it's like that. Whenever it's about Sanju Samson, I came at the very first, beat about talking about him. But I think the postponed news of means the delay in the recovery of Tilak Verma has given some some relief to Sanju Samson, because he will get a game as far as that opening place is concerned. Yes, if you see the numbers are not that good. 10, I think a 6 and a 0, if I'm not wrong. And apart from that, if you look at Ishan Kishan, he scored, I think, a 70 odd also. And then, means the kind of innings which this team needs at this point of time. I still think that, when there was debate on Shubman Gill and Sanju Samson, they were kept on saying that he has 3 centuries. My only point is, why not at this point of time people are talking about Sanju Samson, that what he did in whatever opportunities he got. Yes, he also has some failures. If you talk about the Asia Cup thing, there was only one half century versus Oman, if I'm not wrong. And apart from that, there was no performance in Australia also. That's why they gave opportunity to Jitesh Sharma in the middle order, because Sanju wasn't able to score runs. But when you are saying that now you have to put Shubman Gill aside, then there were a lot of discussion about that, how important Sanju Samson was. My only point is that if the team management also think what the people in Twitter and social media and in the mainstream media are saying, then it will be tough for Sanju Samson also. Because what if Ishan Kishan fails in rest of the 3 games or 2 games? Then what will you do? Will you again go back to Sanju Samson, or will you carry forward this with Ishan Kishan? So if you have chosen a certain player, because it's not, I'm not talking about 3 months away thing. It was just a month ago thing, that when you say in the selection meeting that yes, Sanju Samson is there, and Ishan Kishan, means they didn't said it officially, but Ishan Kishan, everyone knows that Ishan Kishan was your backup opener and not your mainstay in the playing 11. But just it's only 3 games now, and you said that no, we still now don't want Sanju Samson also, and we want Ishan Kishan. So little harsh for Sanju Samson also. But if you want to go with Ishan Kishan, then go with Ishan Kishan. But I think then what's my only point is, then what are the number of games you are giving an individual player? That I want to know. If you are saying 1 month back that you want Sanju Samson in place of Shubman Gill, okay, fine, you got the opportunity. But then if 3 games is a marker to your entry or exit point in Indian cricket, then will you do the same with Ishan Kishan also? That Ishan fails in 3 games and you'll say that no, we don't want Ishan Kishan now, we want Sanju Samson back. What's the point?
Fair enough. Okay, there's one question here by Tom 861. Wherever you can take this one. In a World Cup like tournament, one should always go in with players in form. So these 2 matches, if Sanju performs well or Ishan loses form, then he should start in World Cup. Else Ishan, purely based on form.
Definitely, I think team management will also give these 2 games to Sanju Samson. If he can click, then fine. Otherwise, if he doesn't perform well in the last 2 games, then obviously Tilak Verma will join the team in Mumbai, and then before the first game, I think he has already cemented his place in the T20I side. In the final, we remember what he did against Pakistan, and he was the second highest run scorer after Abhishek Sharma in the format for India last year. So I think Tilak will be an automatic pick. Who he will replace, that will be a bigger question. So I think these are the 2 opportunities that Sanju Samson has now. If he fails, then obviously team management will think about playing an informed in Ishan Kishan, who's also your wicket keeper, in place of Samson. So then it will be a top 3 left-handers. Your top order will be compromising of 3 left-handers. Abhishek Sharma, Tilak Verma, and Ishan Kishan. So these 3 will be your left-handers, and these will be your top order. And I also agree with the same point that when you give a long run to a player whose position you have changed a lot in the last 1 year. You remember only one series that that he performed very poorly was against England around the same time last year. So he was bounced out. There was a method, and the same method he was getting out. He was being bounced out. There was a certain short ball ploy which was used against him. But then in the Asia Cup, you brought in a Shubman Gill, and then he was demoted to middle order where he couldn't fare well. Then Jitesh Sharma came in. Now you are bringing back a Sanju Samson, and after 3 matches, you cannot give up on a player who's having quality. Means he has proven himself time and time again in this format of the game. So I think he should be given 2 more matches. If he doesn't click, then obviously you can go for Ishan Kishan, because he's been scoring runs in this format particularly, and with an impact. Like, he's very explosive. He can bat at a higher strike rate. So if that is the case, then obviously you can go with Ishan Kishan. I agree. Like, purely based on form, because T20s is such format, when form is given more emphasis. Like, who's more in form will be given more experience, rather than you are going for experience. So let's see what happens in the last 2 games for Sanju Samson.
Shamik, there's a question here, or rather an observation here by Vaibhav Taragi. He's saying Cummins backed Manas Labuschagne in the entire 2023 World Cup, and he delivered at last in the big finals. Few failures in a bilateral series should not tempt management to drop Sanju. Let him open in the World Cup.
At this point in time, still Sanju Samson is India's first choice opener for the World Cup, along with Abhishek Sharma. Gargi, I keep hearing a lot of stuff off late over the last few days that you cannot drop Ishan Kishan. Sanju Samson has to make way. But who is saying this? I mean, have you ever heard that anyone from the team management, be it Morne Morkel, be it Gautam Gambhir, or Ryan Tendoshkata, or Surya Kumar Yadav saying this? At this moment, this is just outside noise. For example, Chris Srikanth, and with all due respect to him, Srikanth is a former India captain. He is a World Cup winner. He is saying this on his YouTube channel. At the end of the day, Krishnamacharya Srikanth doesn't take decisions. He doesn't pick. He doesn't pick India's playing 11. So Sanju Samson has failed in 3 games. So what if Ishan Kishan fails, and it's such a fickle format? He fails in the next 2 games. What will you say? I mean, see, we have to look into the 2 aspects. And there are a couple of serious observations as regards Sanju Samson. And they are coming from 2 very renowned coaches. One is W.V. Raman. W.V. Raman, former India batsman and one of the most renowned coaches in the country. He is saying that Sanju Samson has a technical flaw, which is related to his bat speed, because he needs to adjust his bat speed to the pace of the ball. And he cited the example of driving a car. Like, you cannot drive a car at the same speed, right? You need to adjust. So according to the pace of the ball, Sanju Samson needs to adjust his bat speed to be consistent. That is the observation of W.V. Raman. This morning, and I'm writing a copy on Sanju Samson, and I will capture the man behind, beyond the boundary, how he is, and what such a great human being he is. But that is for the print. As for the moment, I spoke to Zubin Barucha, another very, very renowned coach, and his mother hand Sanju Samson at the franchisee at the IPL. So very few knows Sanju Samson better than Zubin Barucha. And according to Zubin Barucha, he doesn't have any technical problem. Else, he wouldn't have scored that century in South Africa on such a spicy surface against the likes of Mark Jansen and Gerard Kotze. If you remember, Abhishek Sharma was hit. Abhishek Sharma was struggling. He was hit on the head, but Sanju looked flawless. Something could be mental. There could always be a mental aspect to someone's cricket as well. It is not easy. He is replacing Shubman Gill, and Shubman Gill, until he was dropped, he was the vice captain. And Shubman Gill is a big player. When you saw something similar with Shubman Gill, when Shubman Gill was brought back to the T20I setup, Sanju Samson and Abhishek Sharma were the 2 established openers. And maybe, but unknowingly, Shubman Gill put himself under extra pressure. And this could be something similar with Sanju Samson, that the shadow of Shubman Gill, that I am replacing Shubman Gill, we don't know. But maybe he is putting himself under that little bit of pressure, little bit of extra pressure. There is a mental aspect to it. But Sanju Samson is quality. And like Morne Morkel said at yesterday's press conference, the form is temporary, class is permanent. Sanju Samson is a fantastic human being, and he is a fantastic cricketer. And it would be great if he get back to runs. He has 2 more games. See, These two games are inconsequential. These are dead brothers. There is nothing to play for extended, rather glorified warm-up games before the World Cup. But these two are important things for two reasons. One is Sanju Samson. These two matches are his opportunity to get back among runs. Another is the spinner slot, because in all likelihood, Tilak Verma, BCCI has confirmed that Tilak Verma will be available for the World Cup and will join the squad in Bombay on 2nd of February. But Washington Sundar could be ruled out. We still don't know, but there is a possibility that he might be ruled out. And in that case, we have Ravi Vishnoi in this team. The selectors have brought in Ravi Vishnoi, and Ravi Vishnoi bowled well in the last game, performed well in the last game. Riyan Parag has also completed his rehab at the Center of Excellence. So these are the two areas we need to keep our eyes on. We need to keep our eyes on, and other than that, these two matches are sort of inconsequential.
Agreed. Rohit, there's a question here. Amartya Chakravarti, he's saying, do you guys see a pattern over the years? There's been an increase in left-handed batters in India and across the world, which wasn't really the case earlier. And another question that a lot of people seem to be saying is, if Ishan Kishan does open alongside Abhishek Sharma, what does that do to the left-right combination?
So I think both the questions, it has a merit in it, because but for me, I think it will be more about the kind of approach the modern day T20 cricket is having, to have a combination like a left-hander and a right-hander. You are at this point of time doing this for the sake of left-handers and right-handers. It's not about that you have suddenly a rise of quality left-handers around the globe. You see this under 19 World Cup side also, you'll definitely say this, that they are also doing this, that we want a Vaibhav up, then we either have a Aaron George or a Vihan Malhotra, a Vaibhav Surya and Ayush Matre, really sorry with that. And then you have a Vihan Malhotra in left-hander, then you have a Abhigyan Kundu also, then you can have a Vedant Trivedi and a Kanishk Chauhan. And in senior side also, you want there, someone like Abhishek Sharma, you want a Tilak Verma, you want someone like an Akshar Patel to come up the order, you want a Washington Sundar. So it's not suddenly that the quality of left-hander has gone really up as far as last few years are concerned. But the kind of approach they are having related to T20 cricket is that we want a right-hander and left-hander, right-hander and left-hander. So on an average basis, right-handers are more as compared to left-handers. But because suddenly your approach is, we want as many left-handers in the side, the amount of right-handers we have. That's why you are seeing more of these left-handers into in the any kind of format, moreover, or more specifically to T20 cricket or around the world. If you talk about, that's what the combination at this point of time the teams are looking for, to negate the dimensions, also to negate the bowling attack also. Sometimes sending a left-hander is more more fruitful than sending a right-hander, is what how the coaching staff works. And more specifically in Gambhir's case, from the very first series, I remember in Sri Lanka, he was very very optimistic about sending a Washington Sundar and Akshar Patel ahead of a KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer. So that's what he was trying to do since the very first series. I'm talking about the Sri Lanka T20s and ODIs. So it was there from the very beginning. So yeah, that's the kind of, and he did the same in Kolkata Knight Riders also. If you look at the modus operandi of Gautam Gambhir, how he operates, or to the modern world coaches and mentors as far as T20 cricket is concerned, they try to do that more. And the second part of the question, Ishan Kishan and Abhishek Sharma, I think it doesn't do much to the right hand left-handers, but I think at this point of time, if you really want to test, you can give rest to Abhishek Sharma. Abhishek Sharma has nothing to prove now. He's playing with a strike rate of 200. He's playing with an average of almost 46 in last 1 year. There's no one near to him. Give that guy a rest. As Shamikda rightly said, the car drive rest means you will feel at certain point of time that yes, my body is feeling a little bit of tired. Why not fresh start in World Cup? You have to play a warm-up game also, if I'm not wrong. Why not fresh start? fresh start for World Cup. You did, all whatever it needs to, do to go into a World Cup. The world is talking about at this point of time related to Abhishek Sharma. Everyone is talking about Abhishek Sharma. The way he's changing the narrative around T20 cricket, the way he's changing the T20 batting, a 14 ball half century, a 13 ball something. So give that guy a rest. Put Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan in that open slot. It will be something lovely to watch out for. And then you have your results also, that what you want in T20
Mhm.
cricket, in T20 World Cup, in your first game. What you want? You want a Ishan Kishan or you want a Sanju Samson?
Right. So, final question of the show. There, Singh Dev has asked a question here. He said he's asking, despite so much dominance, one loss to Pakistan could knock us out by 90 runs or a 34 over chase from under 19 World Cup. Given how players crumble, it's very possible. Vaibhav, next match for India under 19 is obviously against Pakistan under 19. How are you seeing this fixture?
See, obviously there will be pressure. You can downplay the questions as much as you want. Yesterday, I was listening to Ayush Matre's press conference, and he mentioned it's just another game, normal match. What he said was normal match for us, and we will look to prepare ourselves for that game. We will not see who are our opponents, and irrespective of the results, we will only focus on our process. That's what Ayush Matre said. You see, you will play you will say this in front of the media, in front of everyone, but internally there is pressure. The last time you played a game against Pakistan, it was the Asia Cup final where you lost the game, and there were a lot of on-field heated exchanges that happened in that game. Ayush Matre was involved in that. Vaibhav Suryavanshi was involved in that. Ali Raza from Pakistan, that pacer, was involved in that. So obviously, you know that there is a lot of history between the two nations, and the current geopolitical tensions are already on high. The current scenario of Asian subcontinent is not nice. Looking at all the aspects, there will be pressure on both the sides, and because India will be particularly in more pressure, just because last game that they played, they lost that game, and this game will be more about the informed Indian team coming to that game with 4 wins on the bounce. They have the momentum, they have that side to beat Pakistan. Uh, they have good pacers, but I think their batting is still their weak link, as is the case with the senior side as well. So I think India should look to exploit their weakness. India, what all they have to do is to bring some game sense when they are batting, which they lacked in the final. If they are able to control their nerves, if they are able to control their aggression at the start, I think it will be a not a very tough fight against Pakistan. It will be a rather easy win if you just play with a strong temperament. That's what you have to do against Pakistan.
All right. On that note, we'll take your leave. Lots to look forward to. Obviously, the India versus New Zealand game tonight, which we will be covering. Don't forget to join us for the pre-show, and of course, the India versus Pakistan under 19 game in the World Cup. Rohit will be there on ground. Has been in Zimbabwe for over 20 days now, so don't forget to keep an eye out for his coverage as well. We'll be back very soon. Thank you, Shomik.